Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger, and in this video I'm going to be going over how to choose your main character in Mortal Kombat 11. So as you can see, Mortal Kombat 11 certainly not hurting for lack of characters. There's a lot of people to go over and a lot of people to pick. And, how do we come to that point? It is difficult to pick a main character in a fighting game. Like, even me at this point right now, I'm still kind of deciding who my main character is. I'm still floating around. So, both as a way to kind of help myself a little bit and to help you guys, this video is just basically how to find your main character. And let's just go over some of the basics of what you should be looking for. So first up, before anything else, if you are newer to Mortal Kombat or just fighting games in general, and you're looking for a character to help teach you the game, look for the fundamentals of the game, just teach you how the game works without getting into too much of the complex stuff, the three characters I would personally recommend are Sub-Zero, Shao Kahn, and Johnny Cage. So why these three characters? Well, the big reason I'm picking these three characters is because I think they're just strong at the basics of the game. All three of them, they have very long range and forgiving attacks and strings. They can hit from a fair bit further away than the average character can. So when you're trying to start offense, you can start from a little bit further out than most characters can, and that is, very nice. All three also, I find, for the most part, have fairly basic combo structures, which are quite easy to do, which is another good feather in your cap, because you don't want to start off on the really difficult combos if you're learning the game. And these characters kind of, I find, just provide really strong basics. And on top of that, all three have a fairly decent rushing forward move if the enemy does something kind of boneheaded at a range. Sub-Zero has the slide, Johnny has the shadow kick, Shao Kahn has the shoulder charge. So you can kind of learn a lot of the basics of punishing just from something like that. And also, these are just honestly three classic Mortal Kombat characters. Everyone knows Shao Kahn, everyone knows Johnny Cage, everyone knows Sub-Zero, right? If you were, say, brand new to the franchise and you don't know who Garrus is, you don't know who Cetrion is, right? You might not find any kind of attachment to these characters. These guys are Mortal Kombat stalwarts. This might be the first real game that Shao Kahn's playable, and no, I'm not counting Armageddon or the GameCube version of Deception, but these are just fan favorite characters, right? So it's a lot more comfortable getting in the shoes of a character that you've known for like 20 plus years. So say you're not too worried about the basics, you kind of have a specific playstyle you have in mind, you're comfortable with this kind of playstyle. So say we have the playstyles of zoning, gimmicks and 50-50s, strong neutral / footsies / screen control, and brawlers. Well, then let's just go over those. So say you're looking for a zoning / fireball based character. The characters I would recommend to you are Cetrion, Sonya, and yes, I said Sonya. I know she's supposed to be a mixed-up character, but Sonya, and Scarlet. So for two of these three, it's easy enough to understand, I suppose. They just have traditional, very strong fighting game style fireballs. For Scarlet, she can shoot a straight projectile, she can shoot a ground projectile, she can shoot a big fat projectile sort of hard to jump over. They can be medium speed, slow speed, or fast speed, and the giant tongue, which takes up a giant part of the screen. She has a lot of her strings and normals are designed to cancel into the fireballs and then push people out, so you can then keep doing your fireball game. Cetrion as well has a giant laser that's a true hitbox that hits everything it comes across, very similar to Superman and Injustice if you ever played that. Giant boulders that you can't dunk under, giant boulders you can't jump over. It's very easy to understand why these are two strong characters when it comes to fireballs and zoning. For Sonya, you might not think Sonya, because once again, she's traditionally been like, kind of a brawler, rushdown 50-50 kind of character, and yeah, she still does that in this game, just so you know. Sonya's really good. But Sonya's rings are super fast, they recover super quick. She has an incredibly strong crushing blow tied to her basic projectile if you meter burn it, so you're allowed to duck the first hit, but the second hit is a mid, and if you duck it and don't block, it comes a crushing blow and does a lot of damage. Also, in this version, she has effectively what we would call maybe like a hidden missile. She has a from the sky down to the ground projectile that can hit overhead from full screen, and even if someone misses, it has a large splash area that just hits mid. So between that, and she has air fireballs as well, and all that kind of stuff, she's actually a very strong and serviceable fireball zoning based character, on top of all of her other strengths. So say you're looking for a character with strong neutral. So strong footsies buttons, like buttons that are very far range, have a lot of screen control, all that kind of stuff, and otherwise can just control the screen very well through a variety of means. The characters I would recommend to you are Scorpion, Frost, Cabal, and Johnny Cage. So Johnny Cage, for much the same reasons we went over for the basic characters, he just has good buttons, good reach, and that's kind of all you need. That's a big part of Footsies. It's just having more range to effectively continue your offense than your enemy does, right? For Cabal, Cabal has back 1-2, which is a mid overhead string, so you can't neutral duck it at all, and it's really good. It's a full combo starter, has very respectable range. He also has 4-2-2, which is not as long range, but faster mid-mid, so once again, he can't duck it. And you can easily hit confirm anything into the Nomad Dash and get a nice little combo from there. Also, depending on which competitive variation you're picking, both of them have an air fireball, although they're different. One shoots them straight ahead, one shoots them diagonally to the ground. He has a low-hitting fireball from one of the variations. So all in all, in the neutral, you know, when both people are just kind of flitting around for positioning, all that kind of stuff, he's got basically every option you could want, right? He is certainly not hurting for any kind of options in this game. For Scorpion, he has a lot of range on his basic strings here. Back 1-4 is a string you'll probably see quite a bit. It is a mid into a low, and it's very easy to hit confirm into the classic teleport into, you know, a full combo. That's great. He also has forward 4-2, which is a low into an overhead, which can also start a lot of combo stuff. Forward 3-4, which is mid-range kick, which you can easily get a crushing blow from. That's really strong. He has pretty much everything, on top of the fact, once again, for screen control, it's very hard to out-screen control Scorpion, because if you whiff anything, any calls you on it, you get teleport punched into a full combo, and that's all she wrote. So when it comes to neutral and, you know, just looking to control a lot of the aspects on the screen, you can't really do too wrong with him. I guess the only thing you can really knock him for, in his competitive variations anyway, he doesn't have a true fireball. He has the spear, sure, but that has a bunch of risks associated with it. But still, very strong normals, the teleport, all that kind of stuff. Very, very, very strong neutral game. And we have Frost. Now, Frost actually has one of the longest buttons in the game that can go into a full combo, her back 2-2. It can hit from the round 1 fight position, where a lot of characters that we talked about earlier, except for Johnny, a lot of them, they just kind of have to edge a little close to get in there. She doesn't have to. On top of that, she has her mines, the air explosion grenade kind of stuff that can kind of control weird parts of the screen. A lot of characters can't. Her forward 2, if someone's trying to just walk backwards on you and like make you miss your button, and then they try to whiff punish you and they get a combo, forward 2 shuts that dead to rights real quick, because it is an impossibly fast forward lunging move that smacks them down to the ground. And it is also completely neutral on block. So if they block it, you're none the worse for wear. Unlike, say, Johnny's Shadow Kick or something, you're both completely even with each other. So it's a very strong neutral tool. If they try to walk out of the range, you're back 2-2, then you can just smack them with that. And she has, you know, traditional fireballs as well. She has an anti-fireball move in one of her variations anyways. She's just a strong neutral character. Maybe she isn't the best character in the game overall or nothing, but when it comes to just pure neutral, she's a very strong pick. So, say you're looking for a character then that, you know, we don't want the honesty of the neutral. We want the gimmicks. We want the 50-50 coin flips, overhead lows, all that kind of stuff. The characters I would recommend to you then are Kano, Aaron Black, and Sub-Zero. So, Kano has a kind of really basic 50-50 game, but it's serviceable enough. So, the capper is he has forward 4, which is a completely safe on-block overhead that has quite a bit of range. It's a little on the slower side, it's a little somewhat reactable, but it's the omnipresent threat of it that's going to keep it a thing. With that, he has debatably the best sweep in the game in his back 4. It's very long range, it's very low to the ground, goes under a lot of stuff, very safe on block. And he also has his forward 2, which is a low starter, which he can then combo and say a command grab or something like that. So the constant threat of the overhead that's completely safe and is more safe the further away you do it from, kind of makes the lows a lot more, you know, palpable and a lot more of a threat. And you can kind of just, I'm not going to say coin flip him to death because he's not really a blender, he's not a vortex character, but he kind of always has the 50-50 on deck and you got to respect it. Sub-Zero, simple enough. He has a low starter, goes into full combo, and he has a very strong overhead that has a crushing blow. And if you're in one of the specific tournament variations, it also can combo into EX Ice, and you also get a full combo from that. So it's just basically, is he going to do the overhead into the full combo, or is he going to do the low into full combo? And you kind of have to guess which. The low is completely safe. The overhead is not safe, though, just so you know. Aaron Black is, in no uncertain terms, and I'm not going to put it very nicely here, he's just a scumbag character. So he's got tons of overheads. He's got the boot overhead, which is very strong, has a very strong crushing blow attached to it, and you can basically make it completely safe on block for no recourse and no difficulty yourself. It's almost impossible to punish outside of a lot of weird edge case situations. And he has the puddle, so any combo into EX slide, he's going to toss the reptile acid, and you're going to take very appreciable damage over time, and you're kind of immediately put into a guessing game where you have to make the right choice or you're going to eat a lot of damage no matter what you do. And the only real way out is like wake up reversal, which of course is very easy to bait out and all that kind of stuff, and he can just kind of do any combo in the X slide and force this very damaging situation. Like one of the things he can do is also just immediately after you wake up in the puddle after the X slide, he can just back throw you, and you're going to be back thrown inside the puddle and take all the DOT damage on top of the throw damage. And yeah, this just gets pretty crazy. So just off the puddle stuff alone, let alone the fact he's got a million overheads, he always has the threat of the low dash randomly because it's pretty much unreactable from full screen, or sorry, rather from mid screen to close. Is very punishable if you block it, yes, sure, but, you know, tons of overheads, tons of lows, the traps, and, of course, you know, he's also got strong zoning with the rifle, but that's not necessarily pertinent to the 50-50 gimmicks. But, yeah, when it comes to just being a scumbag, Aaron Black's your boy. Now, if you're just looking for a brawler, if you're just looking for someone who wants to get in and do a lot of damage or get in and just like keep the pressure up, the best examples I would say for the brawler archetype are Baraka and Jax. So both these characters I find are somewhat simple characters in the end, but simple is never a bad thing. Jax specifically depends on which variation you have. The one variation is more grapple focused, has almost no combo potential, but he doesn't need it because he has a lot of high-low overheads and the threat of the grapple, which is a very easy crushing blow into 35% damage. That's very strong. So once he gets in, he can just kind of blend you and just stay on you and bulldog you. And the better he does, the more damage he's going to do when he heats up his arms. And that's really, really strong. Baraka's got a very simple game plan. Yeah, it's very easy just to bulldog your way in. If you're like roughly from mid-screen, all you gotta do is hit forward 4-4 or hit back 2 and then you're in. That's all she wrote. He has some of the simplest, best, easiest, strongest damage in the game. He can very easily get 50% in the corner for 1 bar, and this is no fuss, no muss. This is not like some sort of advanced combo. It is very easy for him to get this kind of stuff. His damage is much higher than most of the cast. A couple of characters can get like a little bit more damage mid-screen than him depending on the situation, or maybe a little more damage if they burn like both bars in the corner. But overall, Baraka just, he gets in, he bulldogs his way in, and just does a lot of damage. And saying nuts to everything else, you just want a character that is strong, like a high-tier character. And even in this fairly early stage of the game, we got a pretty good idea who the stronger characters are. And that would definitely be Scorpion, Sonya, Aaron Black, and Garrus. So if you're just looking for someone who's good, then I would say pick one of these 4 characters. Now, this course is subject to, you know, balance patches and all that kind of stuff. If you're watching this video, say 6 months after I made it, who knows? Like, the best character in the game could be D'Vorah, and the worst character in the game could be Scorpion. I don't know, right? But as of the time right now, as of the recording of this video, Scorpion, Sonya, Aaron Black, Garrus are kind of a little bit better than everybody else. So if you're just looking for someone really good, pick those characters. And with that, that is the end of this video. Picking a main character in any fighting game can sometimes be, honestly, the most frustrating thing in the world, right? You know kind of what you want, and you just really don't know who to stick with. I would say, before anything else, and I'm kind of contradictory to everything in this video, in the end, just kind of pick who you want. If you don't have fun with a character that, say, makes the bill for what you want, so say you want that footsie-based character we talked about, say Scorpion. Say you hate Scorpion, right? You don't want to play Scorpion? Don't play Scorpion. Don't force yourself to play a character you don't like, and don't avoid a character you do like, just because, you know, the playstyle might not be for you or whatever, right? And you can learn new playstyles. You can always teach yourself new ways to play fighting games, right? So, in the end, you know, go with your heart, but if you don't want to go with your heart because you know going with your heart's for scrubs, then hopefully the rest of the video helped you out in that regard. Anyways, that's it for me, so thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Mortal Kombat.